Hello everyone, welcome back. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you some fantastic, affordable dupes and alternatives for some of my favorite Charlotte Tilbury makeup products. Okay, I want to begin with the lip combo I have on right now. One of my favorite lip combinations of all time has been the Charlotte Tilbury Iconic Nude Lip Pencil and the Penelope Pink Lipstick. Those were actually two of my very first ever purchases from Charlotte Tilbury. And look at my Iconic Nude Lip Liner. I'm down to almost the very end, but I have not repurchased it because I have found an exact dupe in the Italia Deluxe Lip Liner in the shade Natural. This lip liner can be found online either on Amazon or eBay, but a lot of times you can find them in beauty supply stores. Not beauty supply stores like Sally Beauty, but more professional beauty supply stores. And these pencils are typically around $1 or $2. And I did find a seller on Amazon that has 3 of these for under $6. This pencil is creamy, it's long wearing, and I see no reason to repurchase the Iconic Nude when this is so close. And my dupe for Penelope Pink is this lipstick from the Sephora collection. It is their Lip Stories lipstick in the shade Tan Lines. This is not drugstore per se, because Sephora is obviously not a drugstore, so please forgive me. This is the only product that you cannot get at the drugstore that I'm going to be showing you. But I put it in this video because it's only $9, which honestly is less expensive than some drugstore lipsticks. They're getting up to the $10, $12, $14 range. So I think $9 is a really good price, and this formula is really creamy. The packaging obviously isn't as sturdy or luxurious as the Charlotte Tilbury, but the color is identical. So here are the lipstick and liner duos side by side. So the next lipstick dupe I have is actually spot on in color to 2 Charlotte Tilbury lipsticks. Here is Charlotte Tilbury's lipstick in Super Cindy. And here is Charlotte Tilbury's Hot Lips 2 in Love with Olivia. As you can see, these two are very similar. In Love with Olivia is just a tad darker. So I've gone and added the dupe, which is Wet n Wild's Mega Last in Bare It All. The Wet n Wild is a matte finish, so as you can see, it doesn't have the sheen that the other two have, but the color is pretty much spot on. Next up is my alternative for the Pillow Talk Lip Liner, which is another cult favorite product. So many people swear by this lip liner, but I honestly cannot tell a difference between this lip liner and this one from NYX. It is the Nude Suede Shoes. Both of these pencils are creamy and long lasting. Nude Suede Shoes just has a hint more brown. This lip liner is $22. This lip liner is usually around $6. And trust me when I say on the lips, no one is going to know the difference. And the final lip product I've found an alternative for is the Collagen Lip Plump in Peachy Plump. The reason why I say this is an alternative and not a dupe is because the Collagen Lip Plump does contain ingredients that will help improve the texture of your lips over time that the alternative Milani does not have. Although I will say that the Milani Keep It Full Lip Plumper does contain hyaluronic acid, which will improve the moisture content of your lips over time. So it's not that it has no benefits, it just doesn't have the same benefits that the Charlotte Tilbury does, and the shade is a little bit different. So on top is the Charlotte Tilbury, on the bottom is the Milani. The Charlotte Tilbury is just a hint deeper and more peach. Okay, now I want to move on to some face products. One of my favorite Charlotte Tilbury products of all time, as I mentioned earlier, the Penelope pink lipstick and the Iconic Nude lip liner were two of my very first purchases. The third item that was part of that very first ever Charlotte Tilbury purchase was the Filmstar Bronze and Glow. I have been loving this for so long. In my opinion, it contains one of the most perfect bronzer slash contour powders and subtle highlighters I've ever used. But in a makeup haul I uploaded the other day, I talked about this new Belgian waffle palette from BH Cosmetics. And I mentioned how it contained these two perfect bronzer slash contour powders for light to medium skin. And then this powder sugar highlighter gives the exact same effect as the highlighter in the Filmstar Bronze and Glow. So this is the Filmstar Bronze and Glow alone. And now this is the Filmstar Bronze and Glow on top with the alternative from BH Cosmetics below. The formulas of both of these are great. The bronzer just glides on, and this is the side that I have the Charlotte Tilbury contour powder on, and then this is the side where I have the BH Cosmetics. I also have the BH Cosmetics highlighter on this side, and then this side is the Charlotte Tilbury. Now in my other lighting, I felt like the BH Cosmetics highlighter was bolder, and I was going to mention that in the video. But now in this lighting, I can't see a difference at all. This one's actually looking a little bit bolder. So contour highlight, contour highlight. All right, next up is a dupe for my all-time favorite Charlotte Tilbury blush in the shade Ecstasy. What I normally do is I take my blush brush and I swirl it into both shades and apply it to my cheeks, and it gives me the most perfect peachy pink color. I reach for it constantly. However, this Maxi blush from Rimmel in the shade Third Base looks identical on the skin. I will say though that this has to be built up to get the same color. So it's a dupe in shade, but it's an alternative in formula because you do have to use a lot more of this to get the intensity that you get from just one swipe of the Charlotte Tilbury. But if you're looking for that perfect peachy pink color and this is not in your budget, check out this one from Rimmel. Now for eye products, I probably should have said this in the beginning, so forgive me for not doing that. But I don't have any eyeshadow palette dupes or any dupes for Charlotte's cream eyeshadows for a couple of reasons. As far as the cream eyeshadows go, I have just not found anything that was truly as good as the formula that the Charlotte Tilbury Eyes to Mesmerize have. I also don't think that the eyeshadows are that great, the eyeshadow quads. I have almost all of them, but that's mostly because I guess I consider myself a collector. And the formula has improved. She's made little tweaks, but truthfully, I just feel that unless you are a bit of a Charlotte Tilbury collector like I am, there are far better eyeshadow formulas on the market at both the drugstore and in the same price point as Charlotte's eyeshadow quads. So that's why I don't have any dupes for those. But I do have dupes for both the Feline Flick Eyeliner and the Legendary Lashes Mascara. A dupe for the Feline Flick Eyeliner would definitely have to be this Physicians Formula Eyeliner. It is called Eye Booster Waterproof Ultra Fine Liquid Eyeliner, and I actually like this one better because it is waterproof. But for me, liquid liners, in order for me to really fall in love with a liquid liner, it has to be really easy to use. And that means that it has to have a certain type of tip on it. And I really like the tip of the Charlotte Tilbury, but I don't like the price of the Charlotte Tilbury. And this one from Physicians Formula is so close. They both glide on easily. They're both really easy to do a winged liner with. However, as I mentioned, the Physicians Formula stays on longer. Now the reviews of the Charlotte Tilbury Legendary Lashes Mascara are quite mixed. I happen to really like this mascara. It gives a lot of volume and fullness, and I don't experience any flaking, but I also get a similar look without any flaking from the L'Oreal Voluminous Lash Paradise. If you have very fine, sparse eyelashes like I do, and you're looking for a mascara that gives you both volume and length, then I would definitely recommend trying the Lash Paradise. The only reason why I don't talk about this mascara more in my videos is because I do find that it goes bad rather quickly. So in that case, you might want to consider how many of these you would go through before you would go through just one of the Legendary lashes. I found that this one actually got better with time, and this one got worse over time. You know, I didn't even think about that until now. I know some people say you should get rid of your mascara after 2 or 3 months anyway, but I've never done that unless I've had to. And for this one, I've had to. So maybe cost-wise, this is the better value. So I'm gonna finish off this video with 2 complexion products. One of them I was hesitant to put in this video because I think it's been known for a while that it's a dupe, and I like to make my dupes be ones that you possibly have not heard of before. So I'm gonna include it just in case you don't know about it. But before I get to that, I want to show you the closest alternative I have found to the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Foundation. This offers medium to full coverage that lasts all day long on my oily skin. I tested out several foundations. And when I say several, I mean probably 10. 10 different foundations to see how well they compared to the Airbrush Flawless. I wanted the consistency to be similar. I wanted the finish to be similar. I wanted the wear time to be similar. And the clear winner was the Hard Candy Glamouflage 16-Hour Wear Foundation. Now, I do not have one on one side of my face and one on the other, simply because I don't have an exact color match. I purchased this olive shade when I was quite a bit darker or had been self-tanning. I haven't used my self-tanner in over a week, so I'm a little bit lighter. So for the purposes of this video, I just put on the Charlotte Tilbury. That's why I'm calling it an alternative, because this foundation also contains a lot of skincare ingredients that this one does not. But if you're simply looking for a foundation that is going to offer that medium to full coverage, that's gonna last all day, yet still look natural, well, it can look a little bit unnatural if you wear too much of either of these. But overall, I love this, and I definitely think you should give the Hard Candy a try. And for that final dupe, which as I said, I believe most of you are already aware of, but in case you aren't, you should know that the Lumi Glotion from L'Oreal, the True Match Lumi Glotion, is a fantastic dupe for the Hollywood Flawless Filter. Now, I have the Glotion in 902 Light Glow, and I have the Flawless Filter in the shade 3. And they're a little bit different, as you can see here. The Charlotte Tilbury is definitely more golden, but there are other shades in the Flawless Filter that, from what I hear, are more similar to the Lumi Glotion in the shade Light Glow. They both can be either mixed into your foundation or worn as a primer before foundation, or you can put a little bit on the tops of your cheekbones for some added glow that still looks natural and doesn't emphasize texture. So that is why so many people consider this a dupe, because the effect is very, very similar, as is the feel and function. Now, before I go, I wasn't sure if I was going to do this, but why not? I'm going to talk about one more dupe. And my reason for being so weird about this is because I said earlier when I talked about the Tan Lines lipstick from Sephora that this was the only product that wasn't drugstore, but it was drugstore priced. I have another dupe for this Airbrush Flawless Finish Powder, but it's also a Sephora product. However, it's not drugstore priced. This is $22. It is the Sephora Micro Smooth Powder. I use the shade Light as a dupe for the Airbrush powder in the shade 1. I love both of these for setting my under eye concealer. They both leave just a truly, well, airbrushed finish on the skin, and I just think they're both excellent. So I wanted just to mention it. I felt that if I didn't include it, someone was going to call me out in the comments because I have talked about this being a dupe for this in the past. And I just know someone will say, Risa, what happened to that micro smooth powder you always said was a dupe? Why isn't that in your dupes video? And then my response would be, well, because I wanted to stick to drugstore dupes. So I guess I am making an executive decision and putting it in the video. All right, Risa Does Makeup family, I really hope you enjoyed this video. As always, if you did enjoy it, I really appreciate you giving it a thumbs up. If you're not already a member of the Risa Does Makeup family, we would love to have you, so please hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you never miss an upload. You can also find me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter under the exact same username, Risa Does Makeup. Once again, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to tune in, and I look forward to seeing you again very soon.